Hello and welcome to another episode of Trading Dimes for Dollars. I'm Herrick Kimball and today I've got something really special for you. I'm going to show you a packaging technique I developed a couple years ago and use to ship most of the things I sell on eBay that weigh less than 16 ounces. I call what I'm about to show you Whizbang Pseudo-Boxing. Whizbang is a dictionary word that means conspicuous for speed, excellence, or startling effect. Pseudo is a prefix that means having the appearance of something without actually being that something. For example, this is a Whizbang Pseudo-Box. It appears to be a box inside a poly mailer. It protects the contents like a box, but it's not actually a box, at least not in any conventional sense of the word. The great thing about my pseudo-boxing system is that these boxes cost almost nothing to make. They weigh very little, and I can custom make a pseudo-box in about 1 minute. By the way, this 12-ounce pseudo-box contains an antique jeweler's drill, and this 10-ounce pseudo-box contains an antique awl. Almost any item you sell that weighs less than 16 ounces can be pseudo-boxed and shipped using the inexpensive USPS First Class package rate. My pseudo-boxing system begins with this little piece of 3/16" thick masonite. I call it the pseudo-boxing template. It's 4 3/8 inches wide, which is just a bit wider than this standard 4x6 shipping label. This piece of masonite happens to be 13.5 inches long. And the reason it's that long is that I had a scrap of masonite 13.5 inches long. It ended up being a good working length. But the length of this piece is not as critical as the width of the piece. After sticking a blank shipping label on one end, like you see here, I measured 6.5 inches from the end and marked a line across, like you should be able to see right here. This size, 4 3/8 inches by 6.5, is the smallest pseudo-box size. And right here, you can see this size. This contains an antique hunting license. I'll be showing you how to make this size and the larger sizes in this video. But I want you to see that this is 4 3/8 by 6.5. This face is perfectly sized for a standard mailing label. By the way, this package at 6.5 by 4 3/8 by 1/4 inch is close to the minimum acceptable size for first class shipping, but it's perfectly acceptable. In reality, I rarely make pseudo boxes this small. All the different pseudo boxes I make begin with strips of cardboard like you see here. These strips are 4 3/8 inches wide, and I use the pseudo boxing template to make them. You'll notice that the cardboard corrugations, or you should notice, let me point out that they're across the short distance, not the long distance. That's important. I'll show you how to cut these strips at the very end of this video. The thing to know here is that these simple cardboard strips cut out of recycled boxes are the heart of this idea, and they cost me nothing. Now what I'm going to do is show you how I make pseudo boxes for 5 different items. Each demonstration shows similarities and variations in this packaging system. I'll be speeding the video up in these demonstrations to save time. One more thing, you'll notice that I'm using a sharp utility knife in these demonstrations, and I'll be cutting on my packaging workbench right here, which is nothing more than an old door on top of 2 sawhorses. I have cardboard taped to the top of the door, and when I want a nice, clean, fresh, new surface, I just tape another new layer of cardboard on top of the old layer. Okay, let's get into this. For this first demonstration, I'm going to box up some Keen-Cert threaded inserts that I sold. Pseudo boxes work great for shipping most any hardware. I lay the bagged hardware on the cardboard, then I use the masonite template to mark out the 6.5 inch distance, like you saw right there. Then I lay the template on top of the cardboard, align it with a long edge, and use the end, like a square, to guide my utility knife while I score the cardboard. I do the same on the other pencil mark. I like to use the handle of my knife to indent the scores. This is not a necessity, it's just a habit for me. So the ends of the pseudo box are established, and I lay the bagged hardware in the center. Then I use tape to secure each end of the bag. Fold up one end of the box and use some sort of a straight edge to rest on top of the contents and poke a small indent like I just did right there. Once marked, get the template in position and score the cardboard. If the cardboard strip is too long, cut it shorter as needed. Fold the other side of the box up. Use a straight edge to again mark an indent. Then score and fold again. Then take a look at what you've got and cut off any excess cardboard. Then square up the box and tape it together like you see right there. Now here's something I do on every pseudo box I make, and I consider it an important step. I put tape around the center and I put a little pressure, a little bit of a squeeze on the open sides as I tape over them. And I always bash the corners a bit before I bag the box. Here you can see that I've put some more tape over the polybagged pseudo box, and the 4x6 mailing label fits just right. I'm going to step it up 4x on this next pseudo boxing demonstration. The process is the same, but you'll notice some variations. Now I'm going to show you something new and kind of revolutionary in the world of packaging things. This is a larger item. It's an odd-shaped item. This is an antique jeweler's drill. This box will be longer than the 6.5-inch minimum. I'll size the length of the pseudo box to fit the length of the drill. I'm going to also beef up the box with a double thickness of cardboard at the narrow end of the drill. Then I'm going to get the drill handle up close to the ends to mark the height of the box for folding. Now I'm going to show you the revolutionary new idea. I'm positioning the drill where I want it to be, and I'm going to secure it in place with inexpensive 4-inch zip ties. I'm going to make an intelligent decision about where to position the zip ties, then poke holes for them to fit through. I have an awl for this purpose, but I couldn't find it. Then, after I made this video, I found it. Here's where it was. These 4-inch zip ties work great when pseudo-boxing hammers, pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers, and other small tools. I use zip ties a lot. And if a 4-inch zip tie is not long enough, you can join these together to get a longer length. You just got to get the place where you put it in configured in the right direction. A pair of pliers can be useful for grasping the end of the tie and snugging it up tight. To provide a little bit of extra support in the center of the box, I decided to roll up a piece of recycled small bubble wrap and get that in place before putting the tape and the squeeze in place. Speaking of awls, I'm now going to show you a trick for securely pseudo-boxing a long, pointy awl so that it will not poke through the box on the way to its destination. For my final pseudo-boxing demonstration, I'm going to box up this old hunting license. The white tool that I'll be using in this demonstration is a bone folder. It's a traditional bookbinder's tool made, in this instance, from a cow bone. They also make them from plastic, but this is a cow bone folder, and this can be quite a useful tool. Okay, there you go. I'm sure you have grasped the concept. And if the value of this little whiz-bang idea resonates with you, I hope you'll put it to good use. Now, before I show you how I use my pseudo-boxing template to quickly and easily cut out strips of cardboard, I want to let you know that you can still download the free Ruler Pages PDF at tradingdimesfordollars.com. And something new, I now have a Buy Me a Coffee page. It's so new that I'm not even sure if it's working yet. But Buy Me a Coffee is a way to support and encourage creators like me. I'll put a link in the description to this video, and I'll put a link on my Trading Dimes for Dollars webpage also. Now, I'm going to show you how I use this little template to easily cut these pseudo-boxes strips. Alrighty then. Here we go. Boxes come in all shapes and sizes. As you know, this happens to be a box that I get a lot of. And rather than throw them out, I use them. So what I do in this instance is I cut the ends off. And this is not necessarily the main point of this, but what I do is, come on now, I end up with my cardboard, okay? Nice flat-like piece of cardboard. And my corrugations are going this way. So I've got a straight edge over here. I've got my Whizbang Pseudo-Boxing template. I just line it up with my fingers over here on the left, and I slice down, and I don't remove the knife. I just move the template down and finish making my cut. That's it. I've got one made. Now it so happens here that I can get another one without having a this fold. I got a little bit of the fold, but you want nice flat ones. You don't want a seam right in the middle. Okay, so here I can go like that if you've got the corner. And we're almost done here, but this gives you the idea. Just leave the knife in there if you have a short. All right. If you don't cut all the way through, finish her off like that. You've got the idea, and we're about done here. Just repeat the process. Get yourself a stack of these pieces of cardboard, and when you need to package something up, you're ready to go. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you will share this video with your friends, your eBay selling friends. Share it, on social media. And give me a like, all that sort of stuff. And I, as usual, thank you kindly for that. Okay, see how quick that is? Get us a stack of these in no time at all.